Oh my gosh! Yep. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video of Summertime Outdoors. As you can see behind me, we have a beautiful sunset here in the Chesapeake Bay. And if you have not watched any of my previous videos, I'm Ethan Summer. I kayak fish all over the place. And today is going to start the embark, or the anticipation of, a 3-day camping trip. Hopefully for some big redfish, bluefish, striper. Really, you never know what you're going to find here in the bay this time of year. And we have some beautiful flat conditions the next couple days. Finally, it has been so windy this spring and early summer, but we are finally down here. I'm meeting up with my buddy Graham. We're gonna fish and camp for 2 nights and hopefully catch some fish. We're gonna go look around out here this afternoon, see what we can find. So without further ado, let's camp and slay some big fish. All right, y'all, we're gonna start out by clipping off this line first. Putting on a little 5-inch topwater. There's been some surface action with some fish. We got a 4,000 Quantum benchmark here. 30-pound Cortland lined master braid, 40-pound Cortland line leader, Jigging World hybrid, 7-foot medium heavy. We're gonna see what we can find. Hopefully we get on a nice little topwater striper bite or something like that. Something just came up behind my topwater there. Oh, got him. The first cast of the trip. See if we can get one right off the island here. Striper on it. That was a striper. Yep. Oh. That was awesome. What a way to start. Yeah. Land this guy on the little island here. Show you guys a proper view of this fish. That was awesome. There's a school of them, I think, so take our time, maybe just cast off this island. That was sweet. It's a nice striper, man. Look at this. Not a bad one. Not a bad one at all. Alright, y'all, that is first fish of the trip. And that was sweet. Smoked it right off the island. And look at the view we have right now with this fish. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? But we're gonna get a nice release with this girl. Show you guys her true beauty here. Look at that. And there she goes, man. And we're going to cast off this little island here because I think there's a school of stripers, so I came up and just put the kayak right on here. I should be able to catch some more, so let's try to get one. Alright, y'all. Let's see if there's any more striper hanging out around here. There's some weird things following the top water. Oh my goodness. Got him! Isn't that something? That might be a bluefish. Yeah, bluefish. Oh, whoa, buddy. Whoa, buddy. Whoa, buddy. There's bluefish and striper hanging out in here. There's a bunch of bait coming around this island. Seems like they're sitting a little further out in this rip here. There he is. Another blue. Isn't that freaking sweet? Probably should have brought some pliers out of the dang. Okay, ow, 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 ow. We need to get some pliers, boys. We just almost got a barb all the way in the hand on the first day. Danko pliers here. Why did it just eat the grass? What the heck? What the heck? There's a beautiful little blue. Pliers around in our pocket. See if we can't get another one, but these fish are sitting like right off this little marsh island here. And the current is sweeping a bunch of bait around it, and there's bluefish and striper just hanging there. Might even be a big red. Let's find out. Look at this, man. Beautiful sunset. Good fishing in the land of pleasant living. So let's get back out there, hopefully get another one. This is awesome. Oh my gosh! Holy crap! Striper. Graham, can you grab my camera out of that blue bag? That was awesome. Look at this, man. That is your fishing dreams. All right, y'all. That is how you start the trip. Beautiful little striper there. Gonna get a nice release for you. And hopefully that'll be the start of catching a ton of fish on this trip. The goal is gonna be big reds eventually. We'll take some topwater striper and bluefish, probably a 20-incher. Let's get a release and get back to fishing. Did not get any more striper or bluefish blow-ups, but this island over here is usually pretty good too. So we're gonna check that out. As these gnats are like in my junk and everything. Down my pants and everywhere. Okay. Alright, y'all, sun's getting down. I'm gonna troll into camp here. We still haven't set up our tents or anything, and we'll give you guys the rundown of our setup here. And hopefully tomorrow morning it's flat calm like this, and we can catch some more fish as we go over what I think is a bunch of whatever the heck those are. I don't know. But nonetheless, I mean, can't ask for a prettier view to catch some striper and bluefish off a sod bank. Are you getting attacked by those gar things? This is my territory, man. All right, y'all. Well, we're gonna set up our tent here. Hopefully in decent time, because these gnats are all over us right now. Yeah, this is the life. Why are you on your tent? Is Graham? You literally saw my bag sitting here, and you put your tent on top of it. Like if you want to sleep in my tent, you can just tell me. We're gonna be like touching each other. Okay, guys, I put my tent here, and this is the amount of clear. This is a hand's width away. Graham puts his tent. I think he wants to sleep in mine. Look at that, though. Look at that. Just a few good old boys alone on an island, 2 feet or 6 inches away from each other. I'm moving my tent away from you, weirdo. Freaking gonna crawl in my tent in the middle of the night, start grabbing me. Yeah. There we go. All right, y'all. Well, the tents are all set up here. Mine and Graham's. Graham, when he had gotten here, had fallen into the water. So he, all of his tent and camping things are soaking wet. A beautiful, beautiful sunset behind us. Trying to get the right lighting here so you can kind of see me, but we're gonna get some sleep. I have a Wawa roasted chicken wrap in the kayak. I'm gonna smack that, get to bed, and these gnats are just crawling all over my body right now. So that is the plan. When I get inside the tent, I'll give you guys a grand tour. But for now, I'm gonna set up some routes for tomorrow and eat some food. So we'll see you in the tent, and then we'll see you in the morning. All right, y'all. Well, here's the grand tour. Graham is doing something in his tent. What the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell's going on in there?
Yeah.
What the hell? Well, I don't know what's going on in the tent next to me. I might have to move to a different island. But we have, it's hot in here. We have a little pillow, sleeping bag. I forgot my contact solution, so that'll be nice. But other than that, we're gonna get some sleep and hopefully catch some fish in the morning. But we don't really know what's gonna happen, so let's do it. Alright everyone, we have an update here. It's around 5 a.m. I was getting a nice sleep until it started blowing 35 miles an hour out of the straight north. I believe if we get out of our tents that they will blow away. Graham's going outside for some reason. It is cold. The weatherman has lied to us once again. I'm going back to bed. That is the morning update. Well, at least it's pretty out, but it is windy. I think this wind's supposed to switch direction to a west and calm down, it seems, but I don't know, we might just pedal out to those islands we caught those fish at last night and just cast off there maybe. I don't know, I mean, it's freaking just blowing its butt off. I don't really know what else to say, but good morning, and hopefully the wind dies down. The weatherman lied. As you can see, it is blowing its little tushy off, so we're gonna try to make lemonade out of lemons, if that's the saying. Throw on a little Salt Strong 5-inch Mulligan here, and there's a really good current rip and wind rip coming off the island, so we're gonna rig this thing up on a 1/8 ounce jig head and see if we can't catch ourselves a striper, bluefish, red drum, flounder, something to pass the time and see if this wind ever stops. There's gotta be a fish on that. Oh, yep, ate it right there. Striper. I knew that structure right there would have one. That was sick. Came up right off the sod bank, fell in the water. Smoked it right at our feet. That Mulligan right in the mouth there. Beautiful little striper. Woo! Making something happen today. All right, y'all. Well, we're making a little something happen today. Me and Graham have literally been fishing in the wind for about, I don't know, 3-4 hours, and finally got calm enough to where we could get out to those outer islands where we had some action last night, and we just caught that striper right off that little, I don't know if you guys can see it, but a chunk of this bank fell in the water and the current is just ripping right over top of it, and that striper was just sitting right on the backside. I cast it and I was like, there's gotta be a fish there. And what do you know? There was. So we're gonna get back to fishing here, see if we can't find some more, but that is kind of what we have going on until this wind starts to die off. So let's try to find some more striper, bluefish, trout, redfish, whatever we can really find on these islands. So let's go. And there's some birds diving kind of further out, so there might be even more striper, bluefish, maybe even a big red hanging out here. Yep, got him. Another striper. Let's go, man. Another one falls for the Mulligan, baby. That's a pretty fish right there. There's a couple of them sitting in here. All right, y'all, no more striper or anything on this island, so we're gonna move and find another island, and hopefully there'll be some more striper and maybe some reds hanging somewhere. Graham just hooked a nice red, y'all. That's what we've been looking for. Why are you using that net? It's not even big enough for the fish. Dude, if we catch a bunch like that this afternoon, they're here, buddy. All right, y'all, well, there's Graham with his nice red. Look at that fish. We finally found some nice redfish here. It's about a 35-incher right there. And there's a whole school with it as our rods are touching each other, but that is what we've been looking for. So there's a whole school. Now all we gotta do is go and find them again. As Graham releases that fish. And hopefully we find a bunch of fish like that. So that is the plan, but we're making something happen. The wind's dying down, fish are starting to show up, so we still got a lot of daylight to make something happen. So just as we got past those islands Graham found those reds, so we're gonna mill around here and find them again, hopefully. So let's get after it. Oh, there's one. I think we got a nice red, y'all. Yeah, I think. Yeah. Good red one, y'all. We're just blind casting in the same area Graham just hooked up and got a good one. Such strong fish. That is a nice red right there, man. Look at that beauty right there. There we go, first red of the day. Right on that Salt Strong 5-inch Mulligan's been the ticket today. And that is a beautiful, beautiful red right there. Thick shoulders on that girl. If we can catch fish like that all day, that'll be real fun, but we'll get her back. There she goes, just like that. So windy 4 hours of just kind of sitting and waiting, and it's slowly starting to dial down. We're finding the fish, so that is a plus. We're going to get back over there and see if we can't find some more. There seems to be a school hanging out around here, so let's see if we can find some more. Alright, y'all, well, nothing out deep, so we're gonna head back into that area where we found those redfish before. Hopefully as this tide moves, a lot more fish will push up in there. My goal is just to go in there, and me and Graham are just gonna stand up and just cast the flat and see if we can see some fish. And hopefully that'll be the ticket to what we figured out. And there's striper in there, lots of bait in there. We really just wanted to check out deep to see if there's any schools of really, really big redfish. So that is the plan. The wind is slowly but surely calming down, so a lot more bearable than the 30, 35 mile an hour gusts we had for the first 4 hours of the day. So really couldn't ask for better weather for the rest of the day. Looks like tomorrow's gonna blow, but let's see what happens the rest of today. All right, y'all, I just saw a red. Did not eat, but that is a really good sign. fish on. There's redfish everywhere. Dude, there's reds all over the place. We found a big school. Oh, buddy. Stop, you're gonna hurt yourself. All right, y'all, that's our first. Where are they at? There's gonna be more packs of them up here.
That was absurd.
I think we drift down, loop back out, and then drift down again.
They were in 4 foot.
All right, y'all. Oh, red right here. I just seen another one. Yeah. Just a pup that, oh, got him. Oh, bunch of them, Graham. There's a big school of them. There's a lot of reds on the flat now, y'all. We can see them a lot better. Good class of fish, too. Nice red. All right, y'all, there's another gorgeous, thick redfish right there. Got that out. Time for the release. Look at this water and look at that fish. That was sick. We're finding them, boys and girls, and Graham's on a fish over here. All right, y'all, well, we are headed into the launch here. I'm gonna grab our camping gear and get out of here today. We have not seen a redfish in about 5 hours. The wind is starting to pick up out in front of the islands, and it's just really hard to even see anything on these flats anymore. And all in all, it was a pretty fun trip. It was supposed to be 2 nights, but tomorrow it's supposed to blow like it did this morning, like all morning, and then, you know, fizzle out in the afternoon. And there's going to be some holiday traffic tomorrow, so we're going to cut this trip a little short. But do not worry, we may fish tomorrow and film that as well. I don't know if I'm going to do snakehead or maybe fish some topwater striper and maybe some redfish closer to home. I do not know yet, but what I do know is that we are headed back down to the Sunshine State here shortly. We're going to be fishing from Maryland down to Florida, so any places or species you guys want to see me catch, please comment that below. And we're also going to be going on a trip here to another coast in a different place I've never fished before, and I don't want to give away too many details because it's going to be awesome. So we have a ton of sick videos coming to you guys, so if you guys would do me a favor and press that like button and subscribe, turn on the post notifications, and we'll see you guys next week, Wednesday at 5:30. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. See you in the next one. Oh my gosh! Yep.